Opening statement. It's exciting. Go out there and have fun. Be at your best. Stay in your best positions. Got to go win a lot of tough matches.
Spencer's now at that step where he has a chance to make that final run for a fourth title. How have you seen his approach here since the Big Ten?
Same. I mean, very steady. Probably a good characteristic to have. Steady and consistent.
He's one of two guys that'll be wrestling for a fourth title this week. D1 wrestling has never seen two guys win four in the same year like this. What's it been like to kind of have a front row seat to one of their pursuits, but then to see two guys potentially go out and make history?
Yeah, I think they are pretty decent acquaintances too. I mean, for a long time. So good. I mean, it's great, and really we're concerned with our guy, but the biggest thing is that the opportunity's there because what they've been able to do, I mean, for themselves and overcoming, and that's how you make opportunities for yourself. You got to overcome a lot. Any path to greatness is, sometimes bumpy places, and you go on. You get a lump on your head and you move on. And Spencer Lee's been able to do that with the best of them.
Spencer's always seemed pretty much in control, comfort being at center stage. Is that something you've worked with him on over the years at all? Or?
I think that Spencer is a cool cucumber. I think he's cool under fire. I think he's naturally has a knack for moving on to the next thing the right way. That's not to say that there isn't frustration, but he handles it well, and he can move on quick. And that's a pretty good ingredient for great athletes, I think. Probably one of the better characteristics that you should have in your character is that characteristic. Being able to move forward after a negative result, or if there's frustration there and you maybe go off the rails a little bit, you can bring it back in quick and get back down the right direction. And he has that characteristic.
From the day that he committed, I think he was pretty much thrust into as a face of the program, even before he stepped on campus, and he's handled it with, grace and, had the results to follow that up. What's that say about his mettle to not even live up to the expectations, but surpass that?
I think that, when fans are unfiltered and they come up to you and you haven't even wrestled a college match and they're talking about how great it is to have you here, and we know you're gonna turn it around, and then you roll with that, and it's not like you're put in that spotlight and there's that maybe stress that goes with that expectation, but you just roll with it. He told a story the other day or maybe I heard a story about him the other day where, everybody's clamoring to get his autograph, and the fellow that witnessed this said, "Hey, did you do that when you were a little kid?" And he said, "Heck no, I knew I was going to retire those guys. Or I knew I was going to be better than those guys. Or I knew that I was going to redefine the entire sport of wrestling." And I tell you what, that's a good way to march.
Did he accompany the team last year to the championships? Did he go with the team?
He did not. He did not.
So he wasn't there?
At the national championships, he did not accompany the team.
So how does his persona rub off on other guys in your room?
I think when you have that kind of competitive ability, whether it's the mindset, which he has, whether it's the physical tools, and you see him on display, which he has, and how he can regurgitate the history of wrestling and past results and his favorite matches. I think people tune in and listen, and they pay attention. I think it's a natural when the results are there and the mouth starts working that people are interested. And that means colleagues and teammates are interested in hearing what he has to say. The biggest mistake would be to ignore something like that as a youngster or someone that is looking to aspire and is maybe new around Spencer. Spencer's been here 6 years now. And I think it would be a mistake to ignore, what he has to say.
Some of the guys that maybe didn't finish where they wanted at Big Tens, guys like Kobe, Teskey, Assad, how have you seen them over the last week prepare for what's coming this week?
I think it's consistent. There's things you work on. You work on things every week after a performance. You have an evaluation period, and then you go to work. But it's been consistent, and it's not a right-hand turn out of nowhere or a 180, about face. We know what we got to do. We know that we're going to have to win a lot of tough matches. And that's regardless if you're the number 1 seed or the 23 seed or whatever you are. We know that we're going to have to win a lot of tough matches.
Where has Real kind of grown over the course of the season and put him in position for?
I don't know if of course he's grown, he's gotten better, but the biggest thing with me is that he's comfortable with who he is, and he was that way when he first came in here, and it wasn't like fake, it was real. And he's still very comfortable with who he is and where he's going. Very, very comfortable in where he's going and the path that he's taken to get there. And that maybe was a little surprising at the beginning, just because, this guy believes in himself. That's good. And it's lasted. He's real. He's the real deal.
A guy like Max who's been to this tournament 3 times, come up 1 match short 3 times. Anything different over the last week, or what's the dialogue been like with him?
Well, I kind of answered that like as a blanket answer. You don't just knee jerk and it's more like, we know you're capable. You're the 8 or 9 seed. You're going to have to be ready to go an 11 o'clock round Thursday, and 1 match at a time. And this is where we're going to spend some time, sharpening up. But the biggest thing is that you are ready to go when you step on the mat at your time.
All right, sounds good, thank you.
Okay, thanks. Hi, Kelsey.
Hey, Tom.
How are you?